What is up, everybody, and welcome to a draft video here on SeemsGoodMagic. It's been a long time since we did this. This is the Modern Cube, and I don't know why Cone of Flame is in this pack, or Imprisoned in the Moon. It's Whispered Elemental, just the best card. So normally green decks aren't very good in these cubes. Like in Vintage Cube and Legacy Cube, like the green ramp decks aren't the best. But in the Modern Cube, the green ramp deck's actually okay. So I don't mind taking Whispered Elemental. I think Devoted Druid is pretty good. If there's a fetch land, I'd definitely take a fetch land out of this pack, like 100% for sure. Johnny's not good enough. I mean, this pack is real bad. You don't want to take Pilgrim's Eye this early. I don't think Pitiless Horde's going to be good enough. Like, I don't know, Blasphemous Act's probably not good enough either. I'm going to take Devoted Druid. I like the green ramp decks. Whispered Elemental is good, but there's a bunch of top end we can take. So Gonti, Lord of Luxury is insane in this cube. Murderous Red Cap's okay. The mono red deck is insane as well, but this will wheel if the mono red deck is open. Mana Leak's pretty good also. Duskwatch Recruiter is very good in the deck that I'm already in, so I don't know if that should factor in. I really do like Gonti, though. I also really like the control decks in this cube, so I'm going to go ahead and take a Mana Leak. Yeah, so these cubes, I like to draft one of three decks. I either draft super mid-rangey green base decks, or I like to draft red decks, or I like to draft control decks. Those are the three decks I really like to draft in this cube. We could take an Elspeth here. We could take an Avenger Zendikar. A Clever Impersonator is okay. Rune Snag is like just a worse mana leak, basically. Valorous Stance is okay. Stagger Shock is obviously the red card. Sorry, I gotta turn down my phone volume. And then Celestial Colonnade is obviously the control card here. We could take Crystal Shard, but probably not. I think we just take Elspeth. Like, I think it's super powerful, obviously. And it goes in the control deck, and so we don't have to worry about taking a Celestial Colonnade here. If the control deck is open, we might wheel it. Also, this is my first chance at this cube in like a year, right? Like, it's literally been a year since we drafted Modern Cube, or 8 months or something, so if I am off on a lot of these card evaluations, that is the most likely reason. So, Soul Reap is not very good. Sylvan Advocate and Acidic Slime both go in the Devoted Druid deck. Hazard goes in the mono red deck, which might be open. This might just be the go-in sign. I think I'm going to take it. I could take Acidic Slime, but it's not a good enough sign that the green deck is open to go to it. Spell Pierce isn't good enough in the like white-blue deck. Linvala is good, but replaceable, so I'm going to take Hazard. And now I'm just all over the place. Threads is a little insane here. Collective Effort's okay. Awakening Zone's fine. If we want to be the red deck, a Burst Lightning is the best card. If we want to be the blue deck, Threads of Disloyalty is the best card. So I'm just going to take Threads, and we're going to see what happens there. Right now I have 5 picks in 4 different colors. Fortunately for me, this is how you can draft Q. Because all the cards are playable, right? Somebody had to put them in the format on purpose, meaning they're relatively playable. So because of that fact, you can then do a lot of things like this, knowing that your 14th, 15th pick cards, even your 13th and your 12th, of course, but 14th and 15th are on the extreme side of the example, because somebody selected for those to be in the cube, they're going to be playable. And so if you read correctly the signals and figure out what's open, those cards might just be useful to you. It's the reason things like wife stipulation drafts are so popular in this format. It's because you can really actually do them well. Mostly just because there's so many playable cards that even if somebody that doesn't really know Magic is just picking straight up colors, you're going to get some powerful cards that then translate into a decent deck. So, Hazoret, Threads of Disloyalty, and Mana Leak don't really all work well together, but Electrolyze is a sick card. Johnny's not great. Cyclonic Rift is fine. Dark Confidant's insane in this cube. Terrastodon's okay. Bogart Ramgang is like a pretty good red card. But do I just take, like, careful consideration? I don't know. I think I just take the red card. Prophetic Flamesteaker is bad. Compulsive Research is okay. I mean, we really have to figure out where we are at this point. Could take a Nest Invader. I think we're off green, though. Then we take, like, a Steam Vents or a Sorin. We could take a Sorin and try to play, like, some control deck. I think it's pretty clear that Esper's open. I thought this Hazard was going to mean that red was open. I don't think Bogar Ramgang is good enough to actually get that pick, so I think that's wrong. I think we're in some, like, Esper Planeswalker deck, and that's a totally fine place to be. Yeah, I mean, you basically just want to counter all their bombs and just grind out card advantage and ways to win. That's kind of the way to win in Modern Cube, right? You either have to go under them very quickly with a powerful red deck, or you have to kind of grind out the card advantage. Condemn, Shriekmaw, I don't really know what this does. Okay, I know what this does. I know what this does. We could take a Tasigur here. We could also take a Condemn or Shriekmaw, of course. I think I probably just take Tasigur. It's a little insane. Shriekmaw is pretty good, though. Yeah, I'll take a Shriekmaw, that's fine. I like being able to kill things in my decks. Alright, so we get everything back, basically, because our pack was terrible. We could take Graveborn Muse, but that sounds bad. We could take a Manatide, that also sounds bad. We could take an Ajani, because that sounds less bad. We could take a land, because that sounds the least bad. I don't even know. I don't even know. None of these cards are playable. Like, Graveborn Muse is, like, the most playable card in this pack, and it's, like, barely playable. Ooh, Gonti! Sign me up for a nice Gontalicious. Flame Javelin on the wheel, so red is open, but we didn't get in early enough, and, like, we didn't cut it at all. Celestial Colonnade. Ambition's Cost is totally fine. Profane Command is okay. Rune Snag is decent. But I'm going to take a Celestial Colonnade. We're definitely at least playing Grim Nemesis, or, yeah, Sorin Grim Nemesis in this deck. I don't know if we're playing anything else. So I'm going to take Soul Reap for the sideboard, of course. We'll take a Vampire Hexmage. That might just go in the deck. Because there are so many Planeswalkers, or because Planeswalkers are such a viable strategy in Modern Cube. So, ooh, Dark Confidant's okay. So Planeswalkers are good in most cubes, don't get me wrong. But in Vintage Cube, they're a little overlooked. Just because, like, there's so many powerful, like, combos and artifacts and, like, fast broken mana things going on that, like, the Planeswalkers are slightly overlooked. But Vampire Hexmage is a totally good answer to, like, a 5 Planeswalker, 6 Planeswalker deck, where it gets in there, it stops some of the creatures, and then it can just kill a Planeswalker when it needs to. That being said, it obviously probably is not a main deckable card, but it's fine. We could also play a black-red deck at this point. But Threads is just so good. Yeah, I don't really know where we are here. Soul Reap is a great sideboard card. Vampire Hexmage is a good sideboard card. But this is the good thing, right? None of our cards would be unhappy to put in a deck, aside from maybe Bogar Ramgang. But everything else we're okay putting in a deck at this point. Even something like Graveborn Muse, like in the worst case scenario, we just draw a card every turn. So, you know, where can we really go wrong here? We can take a Gideon, a Censor, a Trophy Major, Journey to Nowhere, Phyrexian Arena, a Solemn Simulacrum. If we were the red deck, we'd take Gorehouse Chainwalker. We could also take a Nicol Bolas. But I think I'm probably taking this Journey to Nowhere. I kind of just need removal in my control deck. Could just take a Solemn too, but we already have Elspeth as another 4. Solemn's pretty insane in a control deck. Yeah, I'll just take a Journey to Nowhere. We might not even be blue in the end. We might just be white-black. Yeah, I don't know. Dark Confidant is better in aggro decks than control decks because obviously you like might take too much damage in control decks, so maybe I don't even want to play it, but it was a last pick, so I probably shouldn't be making choices around the Dark Confidant wheeling, but the fact that Dark Confidant did wheel and the Gonti wheeled, and the Soul Reap wheeled, and the Vampire Hexmage wheeled, and the, you know, because all those things wheeled, it makes me think this deck's pretty open. So, thought I'd give Date the board. I'm going to take an Obsidaddy here. Pretty easy in Obsidaddy. Now, what we're going to have to worry about soon is that there's not a lot of fixing in this cube as much as in other cubes, right? We don't get any dual lands or things like that, so we kind of have to be careful that we pick up on a fixing along the way. Sphere of the Sun is a great card for that. But Obsidat's just straight up broken in a white-black deck, so that is the pick here. Machias is okay. It's like not the best. Into the Royal's okay. Liliana Spectre is like remotely playable. Oust is fine. Black Sun Zenith is like not great. Dreadbore is okay. Oh, I didn't mean to take that. I don't know what else that I would have taken. Whatever. It doesn't really matter there. I think I would have taken Into the Royal if I had more time. Into the Royal seems like the best card there for the deck, but I am not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Alright, Heart of Kiran and Mist Raven, Read the Bones, Glacial Fortress, Night Veil Spectre, Never to Return, and Wrath of God. Mist Raven's probably not the pick. Read the Bones probably not the pick, but close. Glacial Fortress might be the pick. Wrath of God might be the pick as well. Also could just be Never to Return. I don't actually know. It might just be Wrath. Like, I might just need a Wrath or two. Yeah, I'll take a Wrath. In 2-color decks, you don't need mana fixing as much, but when your cards are this color intensive, like double black and double white on 4, you do need some fixing. So that is kind of important. Temporal Isolation. I guess it's okay. Body Double is okay. Silent Departure's okay. Monster Mentors are okay. Drown Catacomb. We also have a Siege Rhino here, but I don't think we're playing green. I think I probably just take Drown Catacomb in anticipation of playing some amount of blue cards, just because the blue cards are so powerful. But I wouldn't hate on taking a Siege Rhino. You could also just take a Victim of Night. Yeah, I might just take a Victim of Night here. I might just take a kill spell. Bloodline Keeping, Consumer Vapors, Sulfurous Springs, Remand, Nimble Obstructionist, Gideon's Lawkeeper. So now things get a little bit interesting, right? You could take a card like Bloodline Keeper. You could also take a Remand and be full in on the Esper plan. The problem is we only have one fixer at this point. We're already halfway through pack 2, so that's kind of a problem. But Remand, Mana Leak, Threads of Disloyalty make for a pretty good, like, blue base. Might just want to be like a tap out in your face white black deck though. I'm gonna take Remand. I think it has higher upside. I think the upside of us being a 3-color deck, like I think that has a lot of upside. Alright, Shieldred, Falconwrath Aristocrat, Maelstrom Pulse, Lodestone Golem. I think we're taking like a Miria Angel or Scatter to the Winds here. I'll probably take Scatter, but like I am not happy with our mana right now. Ooh, Oblivion Ring. Yeah, Oblivion Ring, Slaughter Pact, Bygone Bishop. I'll take Oblivion Ring here. We don't mind an Anticipate, but again, like, we need to kind of hedge to us maybe not being able to play the 3rd color. Which kind of be a disappointment because we don't necessarily have enough cards in our deck right now. We could take a Battlefield Forge and be Mardu. Mardu control. Puppeteer Click's okay. Phyrexian Arena's okay. I think I'm going to take a Battlefield Forge and hedge to Mardu. We could take a Porcelain Legionnaire. That's okay. We don't have to take Release the Gremlins. We don't have to take this. We don't have to take Hinterland Harbor. We can just take a Porcelain Legionnaire. And it's not the worst card in the world. In fact, there are a lot of spots in which we actually just want to play it on turn 2. So we'll see. We have all the top end at this point. We're just kind of missing the middle of the deck right now. We're going to take a Liliana Spectre, although I guess we could take a Brimstone Volley. I think we're more likely to play Spectre, but it's pretty bad. Actually, we might be more likely to play Volley. Spectre's pretty bad. Ooh, I'll take a Read the Bones here. Wake Thrasher, Siege Rhino. I'll take Siege Rhino. Alright, only one blue fixer's kind of a problem. I wish we had picked up the Drowned Catacombs. So what can we play from the sideboard? We could definitely play a Vampire Hexmage if we have to. We could also definitely splash a Dreadbore and a Brimstone Volley if we have to. So we really basically have like 14 cards in the main deck, which puts us about on average, right? If you get 7 each pack, you're going to end up with 21, and then you're going to have a few tough cuts. I'm going to take a Sulfurous Springs here. Sulfurous, sorry, not Sulfurous. Sulfurous. We'll put the Dreadbore in the deck. That's totally fine. Ooh, Falconwrath Aristocrat, that's interesting. Adkar Wastes, making our time a little tougher. Revelark or Dismember. I think Dismember probably gets it. Love the Spellskite art choice. Lake Claim's also pretty good. I'm going to take a Dismember here, though. Cryptic Command, Bloodstained Mire, Doomblade, Stromkirk Noble, obviously not going in the deck. Hypnotic Spectre, obviously not going in the deck. We could just take a Bloodstained Mire here to help with our splash, or we could take a Doomblade. The issue is that we're just so bad against non-black decks at this point. But we probably just take the removal spell over the Bloodstained Mire. I don't actually know. Although Bloodstained Mire has the upside of us getting like a Watery Grave and then being able to play some of our blue cards. I'll take a Bloodstained Mire. I think this Doomblade could wheel. How much removal do we have? We do have quite a bit of removal. I'll take the Bloodstained Mire. Haze Expertise, Murderous Cut, Disfigure, Jace Balerion, Mizium Mortars, Is it Charm, Disfigure. Interesting. So you could take something like Phyrexian Obliterator here. You could take something like Haze Expertise here. You could take something like Unburial Rites here. I think you probably just take Unburial Rites, even though we don't have that many creatures at this point. Like being able to bring back our Obzidot's pretty good. I could also just take a Disfigure. I'm actually just going to take a Murderous Cut. That's fine with me. Obnixilis, Spectral Possession, or Geralt's Messenger. Geralt's Messenger is pretty good. It blocks so well. It always comes back, obviously. Could also take an Obnixilis. I think I'm just going to take an Obnixilis, actually. Wow. Damnation, Polluted Delta, Snapcaster Mage, Inquisition, Ultimate Price. Jeez. We take a Polluted Delta. We all of a sudden have like 3 blue sources, which is sick. Same thing with Floodstream. We could also take a Damnation, but we already have Wrath of God. We could also take an Ultimate Price. We could take an Inquisition as well. I think I probably just take a Polluted Delta. What am I splashing, though? I could just take a Braid. I could also take Young Peasy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think Young Peasy's making it on the splash in this deck. Neither is a Braid, probably. Inquisition's just good, maybe. Yeah, I'll just take an Inquisition. Ugh, Sphinx's Revelation, the reason to play the extra color. The literal reason. Essence Scatter, Sleight of Hand, Angel is okay as well. Hallowed Fountain would have been sick if we had gotten the, yeah, that would have been sick. Ruthless Ripper's okay. Far and Away also kind of sick. I don't think we can take Hallowed Fountain at this point. It might just not do enough. I think we've navigated this draft pretty terribly myself. Huh. We're kind of all in on Mardu at this point. Although Far and Away is kind of sick. I'm going to take Far and Away. We might just play the away half. Wow. Knight's Whisper, Angel of Sanctions, Runescar Demon, Irrigated Farmland, 2 counterspells, Sorin. I wonder if it's Angel or Sorin. I think it's probably Sorin. We're like kind of on the tokens plan with like Elspeth and Sorin. So I think that's probably the pick, although Angel of Sanctions seems insane. Creeping Tar Pit, Despise, Hero's Downfall. As much as I want to take Creeping Tar Pit, we just like can't play Remand Mana Leak at this point, so we're kind of off blue, even though I wish we weren't. But we're gonna take Hero's Downfall here. We need extra cards for the main deck. We are kind of scrambling at this point for main deck cards, so I am okay with that. I think we're playing far away off this one Celestial Colonnade, by the way. We could take a City of Brass. We could also take this late. We could also take this Cloud Goat Ranger. Cloud Goat Ranger. Yeah, I know how to speak. Alright, I mean, this is a super grindy black-white control deck that might be terrible, so, you know, shout out to us for drafting a terrible deck, but that's fine. If you want more drafting terrible modern cube decks, we'll probably be doing that on stream a little later today, twitch.tv/Sambach49. Twitch was supposed to have this thing called Subtember, which is basically like subscriptions to a channel that you would never subscribe to before were like half off or something. I don't actually know if they're still doing that. I assume they are. But when I say I don't know if they're still doing that, like, it hasn't started yet for whatever reason. There were some technical difficulties involved, so they will be doing it. They're just going to start it a little later this month. So, you know, that means that for every Twitch channel you subscribe to, the Twitcher that you subscribe to gets like the full $5 worth of your sub, and you only have to pay half to 50. So it's a pretty good deal for you and them. Mind Control is obviously sick. Spell Caller sick. I'm going to take a Geralt's Messenger here. I think it goes pretty well in a strategy like this, right? We get to block pretty effectively with it, and so that's fine. I wish I had wheeled a card like a Mizium Mortars, but we didn't. That's fine as well. Ooh, Damnation or Ultimate Price. I wonder if we need the second Wrath, or we just need the first Ultimate Price. There's so many multicolored cards in this cube. You know what? I'll take the Damnation. I'll take a Ruthless Ripper. We might actually play that. The card's not terrible. I don't even know what this does. Yeah, you have to put charge counters on something. Alright, I'm off it. Off it if we have to put charge counters on it. Alright, Graveborn Muse, Hypnotic Spectre, Vampire Hexmage. I think I'm playing Vampire Hexmage. Am I really splashing red just for Dreadbore? Is it basically free? Alright, so we're playing Celestial Colonnade as like a free far and away splash. That might be wrong. Would I rather have a different card besides far and away? Would I rather have like... I might just rather have Graveborn Muse. Yeah, I'd rather have Graveborn Muse. Alright. And then do I really want to play Dreadbore? Is Falcon Arthur's crap better than Dreadbore? No. Is Ruthless Super better than Dreadbore? No. How good is Porcelain Legionnaire? Okay, not great. We can bring it out of the sideboard if we need it. Alright, so we have to play like a Lava Claw Reaches, a Sulphurous Springs, and a Battlefield Forge. And that's like our free red splash, those 3 cards. Alright. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then a 9th black source. Maybe even extra black source and 1 less white source. That's fine. So 10 and 7 is what we're doing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10, 7. All right, I'm with it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see everybody for round number 1 coming up next here on SeemsGoodMagic.com.